They're gonna kill the love of my life.
Casey!
If I don't go back to what I was doing.
Our line of work is quite brutal and quite ruthless.
How far would you go for love?
You steal truck, bring it to me. Then you make your money.
Is it dangerous?
Of course it's dangerous!
Nicholas Hoult, Felicity Jones, with Ben Kingsley and Anthony Hopkins.
All this trouble, all this pain, for love.
Collide. Now playing. Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13.
Blog Talk Radio.
Good morning. This is your host, Llorraine Neithardt, and you have reached Venus Unplugged, the virtual Heartbreak Hotel. So what we're doing here every week is talking about all things Venusian, the good, the bad, the profound, the indifference, all of it, not just heartache, heart opening. If the heart breaks, it breaks open and we can transform once we start understanding what's going on here. Now, what I want to go over today, which I thought would be fun and interesting, is gifting angels. Who knew that we could gift our own angels? They do a lot for us. They are messengers. They're not necessarily with feathers and white light, although some of them are. They come in whatever form we can handle them in, because they're states of consciousness. We can even have angels come in our dreams as messengers, which is a lovely image. And angels can also be, they're intense, man. They're not always sweetness and light. But, so how do you gift an angel? This is from a book. It's called The Sacred Magic of Angels by David Godard. It's a very, very good book for those of you that are interested in angels and magic and ceremony and ritual, which is a focused attention. And for those of us that like to do focused attentions and add a little theater and some light and sound and music, we're creating a performance piece for the divine. So today, the gifting of angels. So that he says here, this is straight from the book. It's straight from the book. I'll ad-lib as we go along. We can gift an angel by enriching it with experiences it has never known. We can give an angel a thank you. Give by sharing. So this is how you do it. You recall a past experience in your life, one of sheer beauty, which fills the cup of your soul. Make sure it's a positive experience containing no negativity, like the relief from fear at someone dear to you, recovering from an illness. It might be the memory of the first kiss, the sight of a dawn over a mountain lake, the pleasure of being reunited with an old friend, the first time you heard Rachmaninoff, or that you held a newborn baby. Or even more so, the time you looked in the mirror and just saw like, wow, that's me. That's my face. That's the divine plan given on earth. So whatever the beauty is. So the memory will, of course, be different for every person, and that's the fun of being human. Do not worry that you will lose the memory by giving it to an angel. You won't, but you will gain the joy of sharing it. You can do this anytime, in the middle of whatever. It's like, wow, don't have anybody to share it with? Don't text. Give it to an angel. You'll get more out of it, okay? Because you're giving more with an open hand and an open heart. So having selected the memory, relive it in your mind, and then you build it up, right? And recall the details and the sensations and recapture the moment and dream it awake. Now, by a gentle act of will, shift to the next level, the astral level of the psyche. So just move your thought. That's all you need to do. No furniture, just your thought. In the hands of the vehicle you now wear, you will be kind of, what will begin to happen, you become this kind of, God geometrizes, so you become this kind of geometric Metatron, these force fields of energy. So you become this glittering geometric shape. It's usually multifaceted, and it glows with all sorts of colors, and then no two that are ever the same. And this is how your memory appears when translated to this level of existence, which is interesting. So you're taking your thought, and the thought moves into an abstraction. The thought and the feeling moves into an abstraction, a geometric form that glistens and vibrates. All right. Now send out a call to the angel that you wish to gift. I'm going to give you the list of angels when we finish here. And having already worked with this being, the response will be rapid. So, we're always working with our angels, whether we realize it or not. But it is good manners to call on them properly. And when it appears, it can appear in a feeling, in a sense, or just imagine, because imagination is the most powerful. And the more that we do this, the more we can feel our way, and the more we can imagine this, okay? So you're sending out this call. And when the angel appears, so you can sense it, some people can actually see it, you can wish it, but just know. Don't believe, know. And this angel has appeared, and it's informed, and you inform it by the mind touch that you wish to give it, to present in your hands as a love gift or a gratitude. So you're experiencing the angel coming in, you're holding this thought field, this geometric thought field of a gift that you wish to give, okay? And then you won't be surprised, okay? But you want to give this gift, you wish to give it a present, and it's in your hands, and it's a love gift of gratitude. So you're kind of signaling to your angel through your thoughts, your feelings. You can say it out loud. Be not too surprised if the angel's own auric colors change and ripple in appearance. For those that are clairvoyant, and other people feel it, sense it. Sometimes you just cry. The holy water of the soul is tears. But that's the greatest gift we can give, because they represent so many things. Okay, and then what happens? If the aura of the angel color changes, then it ripples in appearance, and this is the inner plane's entity's display of pleasure. So it's like that little. Okay, it is still very rare for an embodied human spirit to gift an angel spirit. Enough people don't do it. So do it anywhere, all right? And when the angel has accepted your gift, it will draw the geometric shape into its being. So let's say it's a geometric shape of a diamond or a dodecahedron or something. It takes that in, okay? And then the resulting kind of fireworks that happens, you will then see the angel's aura, and it's a simulation of the gift, a starburst of pure delight. And the vicarious joy you will empathetically experience is the result of a sharing between two lines of evolution, united for an eternal moment outside of time. Now, this takes practice, but trust it. Trust, because it comes. You see, if we really saw these great beings, we'd be paralyzed. We'd be terrified. All right, we make up what they look like so that we can handle it, but what they really look like, we won't be able to handle. It's too other, too strangely other. So you can see them any way that you want, or you can get a picture, or you can give it to a saint, or you can give it, because the angels are these marvelous mediators between dimensions. Okay, so now we're going to go through the zodiac signs and the different angels. So the Aries is Samuel. Taurus is Haniel, Haniel. Gemini, Raphael. Cancer, Gabriel. Leo, Michael. Virgo, Raphael. Libra, Haniel. Scorpio, Samuel. Sagittarius, Sachiel. Capricorn, Cassiel. Aquarius, Uriel. And Pisces, Sachiel. So those are the angels of your sign. Now, if you happen to know your moon sign, you have a sun and moon angel, one for each side. So if you know that sign, you'll use the corresponding angel. If you're not up on your angel lore or your angel image, just Google angels and get some pictures of what you could imagine them to be. They show up in whatever ways that you need, but they are there. And we can gift them because they're the ones that help us get our prayers to heaven. So when we use angels, it helps us because we really don't know what our karma is. I mean, we can have a sense. So it's good to have an intermediary because they help us. And speaking of intermediaries, dreams are, I was reading this book by Von France, and she mentioned that at times in a woman's dream, the animus, which is the woman's soul, can appear as a male angel. And I went like, wow, love that. That's the beautiful part of all of this. Just keep learning. It's a forever thing. Ever internal conversation, learning, discovering. For those that don't have time to study, just listen in because we've got lots to share here. So I was looking at this book. It's called The Forgotten Language, and it's all about dreams. All right. And from Genesis is, behold, we are holding that the dream is the sun and the moon, and the 11 stars were blowing down. So dreams have determined the destiny of individual lives. They have also altered the fate of entire cultures. Dreams were crucial to the development of our Western civilization. So the fact that we are about to make the ultimate descent in the next day or two into the underworld, and in there we find the monad or the image of the divine child, that be you, right? Because all stories of these great saints and great teachers in our life, they all have a very interesting birth story. So this we repeat again, that it's the birth of your inner holy child. And I found this dream, which many people know about. And so this book is talking about the dreams that are of destiny in throughout history. All right. So it says here, the third dream of destiny is one we've already heard of many times at the Christmas season. Perhaps without ever realizing it, it is, in fact, a dream. So after he learned that his young virgin fiancée was pregnant, Joseph dreamt. Behold, an angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, do not fear to take Mary, your wife, for that which is conceived in her is of the Holy Spirit. She will bear a son, and you will name him Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins. So this is a dream. So in the time of Joseph, people were still inclined, more than they are today, to believe in the supernatural events. Although we're getting pretty close, okay? We do know that the supernatural is actually natural. We just can't see it. Obviously, Joseph also had his very common and ordinary suspicions about the pregnancy of his fiancée, and he needed this dream to tell him that a supernatural and divine conception was taking place. Now, for all of it, notice in the next 3 days, 3 days before a holy day, any holy event, and 3 days after. Very often, you have profound archetypal dreams. Now, you may not remember them in detail, but you can feel the essence of them. So try to hold on to the feeling a little bit, or at least write it down. So in all religions, the central teaching contains some paradoxes, something which goes right against the human experience. So the experience of a religious saying is that paradox which asserts the superiority of the spirit over matter. In the materialistic world, there is no such thing as a virgin birth. But by asserting it is so, the religious saying asserts the priority of certain inner spiritual things above outer material things. And you find the same thing in dreams. Whenever people are too rational or too materialistic, the dreams point to something completely supernatural. And Von Franz says here, I remember the dream of a woman who dreamt that she saw a little mechanical animal. It was made out of diamonds, but it was alive and walked around the floor. So Jung talks about, so she consulted Jung, Uncle Carl, about the dream. And he said to her that it is to prove to you that the impossible is possible. You are still too rational. You think such a thing cannot happen. You are not open to miracles, and there are miracles. In the realm of psyche, miracles can happen. That's huge. And it does. In the realm of psyche, in the unconscious, in your soul, the miracle happens, and then it shows itself. Sometimes through synchronicity, sometimes through meaningful coincidences, a story that mirrors the truth of what you're knowing. Because belief is one thing. Knowing is knowing. When you know, believe. Okay? So dreams assert the impossible. They say, look, you think that's impossible, but it exists in the realm of the psyche, and it does not exist in the realm of matter, but it does exist in the realm of psyche. And Joseph also needed an angel, a messenger of God. I wonder if he ever sent a thank you. To tell him in a dream that Christ was born in a supernatural way, conceived by the Holy Ghost. That is how most mythological heroes in different religions are born. The virgin birth is not something unique to Christ. Most supernatural savior figures are born in such a way or conceived in such a way. So Joseph, according to the spirit of the time, 2,000 years ago, accepted the dream completely literally. He stood up for the Virgin Mary and protected the child and carried out all the difficulties for her without ever wavering in his faith. Imagine that. It must have been difficult for them, as one can easily imagine that the people around them talked quite differently about this event. So we see here how the dream unites certain people into a common action, and how the dream life is a community-provoking factor. We can also have a collective dream. Many people dream an aspect of the dream, or the same dream, but in just different phases of it, and make it a reality. That's also what happens with creation. You know, you get a great idea. Well, you know what? Act on it. Because about 10 million other people just got the great idea too. And there's only a few that actually act on it. You know, and so it's important that's a collective dream. Okay. Some people think by attending to dreams one becomes we become a solitary lunatic, which isn't true. It's a funny kind of autistic person who follows his own dream in an asocial way. But that's not true. Very often dreams suggest a relationship with someone or something which doesn't occur to us in all consciousness. They create social bounds and new social behavior, just as they sometimes sever old social ties. But the dream is not at all an asocial phenomenon. Joseph might have turned against his wife and been destructive to her. But through the help of a dream, he completely changed his attitude and supported her throughout life. And we can all have like a great dream that because that's what dreams and all this, the things of the heart. Sometimes we burden love with our expectations. Or we can be in a situation where we can't forgive. If we can't forgive, we still have more shadow to work on within ourselves. Forgiveness can't come just because we say it. Forgiveness comes because we see how kind of this dark angel came into our life with this difficult situation and maybe projected some unfair stuff. But we still have to look at it and go like, whoa, okay. So if I look at this energetically, or if I look at this symbolically, or if I didn't have an ego and I could see this, or I can read a great piece of literature, which is what literature is about, or a moral tale, how does this work in my life? So if you have awareness of your own shadow, we won't necessarily have killer rage towards others, particularly the one that we love and who's not lived according to what we thought they would do or wouldn't do. We just realize, like, wow, I didn't know that part about them, that this is what they were capable of or not capable of. And that's when the forgiveness can really happen, because we take back our shadow, we look at it, and we go, yeah, I can see that. I've had that moment. All right, well, maybe I'm slick and didn't act it out, but here it is, this great mirror. And then when that acceptance comes of one's own shadow, that's the truth of forgiveness. Something dissolves. That would be kind of a cool gift to give the angel. The teaching of forgiveness. For me, I want to give my angel my first, my love, my beloved Faithy girl who passed over. The grief keeps on teaching. But what's very interesting, the grief, which was paralyzing about her sudden death for me, was, as I'm watching it and living it and experiencing and not letting it, it's an incredible teacher, because it's just suddenly it's just there and you just turn it to one big tear. But as I kind of the tsunami of the emotion and the grief is coming, I'm beginning to grasp that in the center of this overpowering, devastating grief, if I can just not have an opinion about it, or not even think about what I think it is or feel what it is, I'm sensing there is a love in the center of that I've never known. I don't know its name. I don't have an image for it, but I can feel it. It's there. So whenever I have enough strength, well, I certainly have lots of discipline, and kind of crazy discipline, kind of my discipline is more like a mad dog with a bone. I just get on to something. It's like, yeah, I love this. And of course I adore Psyche. I mean, it just makes my world rock. And that's what hopefully I'm sharing with everybody here. And I just adore the soul. It's just so fascinating. And to make it conscious, to bring it in. Not necessarily be good, to be whole. It was a famous quote from Jung, and he was asked, and he just said, no, I'd rather be whole than good. That's big to recognize that. It's also harder to be whole, because in the wholeness we have to see it all, shadow and light, and wow, look at that. Because if we can imagine it in another, believe me, it's in us. And that's what it's about. But also this profound love that, loving is a discipline. It's something we learn. Just like we learn to hate, we can learn to love in a way that's unimaginable, in a way that transcends. And it's not goodness. It's this fierce energy of profound wisdom, the wisdom of Sophia, the divine feminine. So this week, people are going to go through a lot. Try to be still every now and again, not rushing about, trying to, go at the pace of what the merchants want and all that stuff that it's fun. It's fun to share. It's fun to get things. It's all of that. But, this crazy pace isn't the holy. It's what Madison Avenue wants. So rebel. Don't go at that pace. Stop it. Unplug. Be still. What does your heart want? It's like you're about to give birth to the Holy Child, everyone. And that's not going to happen at Macy's. Although it could. I've had miracles happen in some of the strangest places. But, really being still, and I think that's also why at this time there's a lot of angst, there's a lot of heartache, there's a lot of missing. And we need to be careful not to kind of silver line, if somebody is in a deep grief or a suffering. Just be empathetic. Don't have the answer, because you don't have the answer. You don't know if it's their greatest good. If you can't sit with the person suffering in a state of empathy with no answer, just walk by, because it doesn't help. So there are some people who are remembering, or at this time, many, many souls leave the planet at this time. I think they get a special. I think they get travel miles or burn off karma or something when they leave at the holy time. But it's also direct entrance. When people leave the planet at a holy season, any holy season, not just this time, any religion, any holy season, it's a way they get closer to the divine. Okay. I mean, my fantasy, is I either become a wave or a particle. I get out into that universe and just split into a wave or a particle and just move about. So this holy season is for the birth of the divine child within. So gifting your angels is great fun, and you can do it every day if you want, because you can't outgive an angel, that's for sure. They're always helping us, all right? And to be able to recognize the power of your dreams, particularly. We get a lot of teachings, a lot of hints at this time. And if we're too busy, anxiety-ridden with the to-do list and not the stillness that the body needs, so it can whisper its great mysteries and secrets. So try to do a little both. And also remember, when you walk into the family or festivities or wherever you are, stay your age. Don't fall in. Know that you've grown. Know that you can and are loving. And you can give that, but you most of all can give yourself the gift of staying centered. Just watching people. It's fun. So have an absolutely glorious Holy Week, and talk to you next Thursday. Yay, bye. Oh, if you go on the website, if you want to set up an appointment or call, 212-757-8914. I always forget the practical realities. Bye.
Progressive presents Mindfulness with Flow.
Before you lies a beautiful meadow,
In that meadow, Progressive Direct has placed its auto insurance rates alongside those of competitors. You select the lowest rate and feel a great sense of calm. A great sense of...
Compare Progressive Direct rates with competitors' rates so you can rest easy. Visit Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.